And good morning is 7:04 on this Monday, March 31st. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody and welcome. Here on a Monday morning, we're all ready to get started. And of course, each Monday morning we talk about Matt Bryson's Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main here in Lebanon. And that's where you'll find Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, RTVs. You'll also find Red Max outdoor power equipment, including chainsaws, grass trimmers, leaf blowers, edgers, and hedge trimmers. And they have the X-Mark zero-turn mowers as well. And we might just mention mowers this morning because it's already time to mow the yard in most places, if nothing else, to get rid of the wild onions and dandelions and whatever else is out there. But actually, at Absolute Kubota, they have a way that you can get rid of them with some ways to treat your soil and treat your lawn, your grass. Go by and ask them about that, and I don't know how soon you can get rid of it, and even the best time to do that, but they can advise you, and they have all kind of things to deal with that, plus the grass seed that will be just right for whatever type of lawn that you have. But speaking of Kubota, we like to say versatility, visibility, value. From dusk till dawn, Kubota's BX Series subcompact and L Series compact tractors lead the way for livestock chores, property maintenance, and more, with sleek designs for improved visibility, dependable power, cleaner emissions, and unbeatable financing. Kubota's BX and L Series give you more tractor for your money. And when you think of the most durable diesel engine money can buy, think Kubota. When you team up with a Kubota M-Series tractor, with Kubota's full line of hay tools, you can depend on precisely crafted hay and forage right when you need it. Because when you're determined to get the job done, having the durability and dependability of a Kubota on your side gets you there a little bit faster. Land Pride and Hustler brands are other things that you'll find there at 1506 West Main. Everything really from weed eaters to hay balers, write it off their lot, write it off your taxes. They are open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to noon. And you can find out a lot more if you'll go to their website, www.absolutekubota.com. And see some of their friendly people that are there. In addition to Matt Bryson, there's Clint Kelly in the service department, Ben Spurlock with seed and fertilizer. Jeff Johnson is another member of their team, along with Ryan Cornwell in sales, Caleb Hieronymus. The team and probably others that are just waiting for you to come by. 1506 West Main here in Lebanon, and you can always call them at 615-449-6171. Well, with that, let me introduce State Representative Susan Lynn, who is with us this morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How was the weather at your place last night? Any problems, really?
No problems. And, it's funny, the last couple of weekends I've really kind of, with my grandson, swept up outside, gotten the dirt out of the old pots and put in fresh dirt and kind of revived it and put in some fertilizer and all of that. And then this Saturday we planted all the plants in the pots, and I know it still might get cold, but we did, and they look beautiful. Actually went to Needham's and got those plants. They're beautiful, beautiful plants. And I am so excited about spring being here. I want to be ready early. Last year I got such a late start, and then the storm comes through, and I was so worried about my plants, so I pulled them all close to the house, and I checked them out this weekend, and they are great. They look beautiful, and they're just thriving. They got used to their soil, and their little leaves are perked up, and the flowers and everything. I love it.
Well, another reason for you to enjoy spring.
Oh, I love spring. Spring, summer, fall, those are my seasons. In winter, I'm just kind of so sleepy. I don't know why I'm like a bear. I just want to hibernate.
Yeah, well, and you got a birthday coming up sometime.
Oh, I do.
This month.
You know that because it's your anniversary, right?
That's right. Helen and I were married 1 year to the date before you were born.
1 year to the day before I was born. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, a long time ago. Golly, you
Well, I
guys
won't
must have been
tell
babies.
how old you are, but we
All
were
right,
married
all
in
right.
'63.
Well, thanks for not spilling the beans. I appreciate that.
We better get to the legislature, I guess. What's going on?
Well, we are really working on closing down already. I think the consensus is we will probably be done by April 18th. April 17th, 18th, and the committees are really working hard to make that timeline. Really working hard to make that timeline. So it may happen. So what's that, about 3 weeks away? Maybe less than 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks.
Are you going to be one of the members of the legislature called to testify in the proceedings that'll be following the adjournment?
I am. I was given a subpoena by Cade Cothran's attorney, and I'm not sure why. I really don't. I'm just thinking maybe a character witness. I always found him to be a very polite young man. He was very smart politically and policy wise, and I never saw them do anything wrong. So when all of this happened, I was as surprised as anybody. I never used their services for mailing or anything like that, never. And, I was a committee chairman, and whenever I'd call any of the staff, boy, they'd answer the phone and just help with whatever was going on. And so, I don't know. Maybe I'll be a character witness. I don't know. I don't go to the events at night. I don't do anything like that. Yeah. So I never saw anything.
Well, this is going to be interesting to say the least. But sometimes these things happen, and such as we're going to have is necessary. It's part of dealing with problems. I guess we'd say
it is. It definitely is. Yep. So we'll see what happens. But everybody seems to think that leadership wants to adjourn before that kicks off.
Yeah.
So,
well, what about you've got some information now you want to share, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm wondering about any bills that you might be carrying or any.
Sure. One of the bills I'm carrying is requires getting rid of the reduced portion of the free lunch program. In other words, the state would absorb the cost of the reduced portion. So it would just be free lunch or not free lunch. And, we really saw during COVID that, boy, it was very, very helpful for a lot of students. It reduced a lot of their stress to just have the free lunch program and pre-breakfast. And so one of my bills is to reduce get rid of the reduced portion, which they only pay about 30 cents or 40 cents, the students do, and get rid of that portion, and the state will absorb that. It's not all that much money, but it sure is helpful. It sure reduces anxiety and any insecurity the kids might have about, not having a lunch or not having enough to eat or anything like that. So, and actually I won an award last week for sponsoring this bill. I was very surprised, not necessary. I just think that it would be very, very helpful to families to have that stress away. A lot of these people, they start the school year and they fill out the form for the free and reduced lunch program, and things change during the year. And I've heard from a lot of constituents, the first thing they do is they're dealing with a crisis in their life. They're not running back to fill out another form. They're really not. So it would be very helpful to have that program. And really the kids who need it, they're the ones who are eating the lunch. Other kids bring their lunch because they've got food in the house.
Well, where is that piece of legislation?
That piece of legislation is in the full education committee this week. It is number 20 on the calendar. I'm not sure they're going to get to it. Education is a committee that really goes slow. So last week, it was also on the calendar, but the research analyst came to me and a lot of others on the floor on Monday night and said, we're really not going to get to your bill realistically tomorrow. So if you don't want to come to committee, don't. And they didn't get to my bill. But this week, I am 20th on the calendar. Will they get to my bill? I don't know. I think the research analyst will kind of make her rounds again on the floor tonight and just let anybody know if they don't think they're going to get to your bill realistically, they're going to let you know.
But sometimes procedures like this can delay or keep something from really coming to the floor, right?
It's just a short delay. It's just a short delay.
Okay.
It has to make it through Education Committee, which I really feel like it will, to Finance Committee, and then it would be up to the Finance Committee to finance this bill.
Okay, but you do see it getting to Finance Committee.
I do.
Yeah.
I absolutely see it getting to Finance Committee. And then, they've got tough decisions to make. There's a lot of legislation that needs funding. Another bill that
Let's tell you what, before we
sure.
get to this other bill, let's take our break right here.
All right.
State Representative Susan Lynn is with me this morning here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 449-6171. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still over here wrapping up this wreck where one car is turned around the wrong way on Briley Parkway westbound at Clarksville Pike, putting the final touches on that wreck up from it there on Briley near I-24. Both are westbound on Briley Parkway. It's starting to build even more at 24 up through Antioch, coming in from Murfreesboro, trying to pick up also there on I-40 coming in from Wilson County, traveling through Mount Juliet. Hey, when you need dependable towing here in Middle Tennessee, remember the name STR Towing and Recovery. Check them out, strtow.com. I'm Commander Chuck, you're on-time traffic.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months, or save up to $1,000. Now through January 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main, Lebanon.
And we continue here on a Monday morning. State Representative Susan Lynn is my guest, and I'm just going to say, back to you. What's next?
Okay, next is another bill I have is about the Katie Beckett program. If you remember in 2019, Tennessee passed the Katie Beckett program. A lot of people say, well, what is that? Katie Beckett program was established by Ronald Reagan back in the 80s. There was a very, very disabled little girl whose parents worked. They had insurance, but insurance did not pay for all of the care that their child needed, so their child had to live in a nursing home. And so the parents, asked their U.S. Congressman, Senator, I'm not sure, can't Medicaid help with this? Like our insurance could be the first insurer and then Medicaid could pay the rest, and that way she could be home, and actually it would cost less money because, paying for the nursing home care was a lot. So President Reagan passed that into law, the Katie Beckett program. So the family's insurance is the first payer, and then the second payer for anything insurance won't pay for is Medicaid. So we passed that in 2019. I was finance chairman at that time, really, really happy. We passed parts A and B at that time. And there are 300 slots a year for these critically ill children in the state of Tennessee to use the Katie Beckett program. Parents have insurance, and Medicaid is the second payer. And they actually pay a premium for the Medicaid. They pay like an insurance premium for the Medicaid. So there's Part A and B. Well, Part B has a home and community-based services sort of a fund that the family can decide how to spend those funds. What do they need? Do they, they need some wheelchair access. They need, just different things that they need. Part A, who are the most ill children, the most critical children, that part does not have that fund. It goes through an MCO. So $15,000 is allotted for this home and community-based services to each one of those 300 children a year, $15,000. But through that MCO, the families only get about $2,700 worth of benefits. And we're like, where is the rest of that money? What is going on? So what this bill does is it directs TennCare, instead of having that money go through the MCO, that money would be a pot of money, and they would apply to use it, just like they do in Part B. You know, it has to be things that qualify. It has to qualify for the funding. And they turn in receipts. And if they don't have receipts, they don't get reimbursed. But it seems like it'd be a lot better way to do it, because these families who will have the sickest children on Part A of Katie Beckett are only getting $2,800 a year of assistance. And it could be different things, like families, sometimes they need to travel, right? Well, when they travel, a lot of times they need to bring oxygen with them, because this is how sick their children are. And so it would pay for something like that. The MCO would turn it down. Oh, you have a wedding in Wisconsin? Too bad. We are not going to help you pay for the oxygen to get bring your child to the wedding. So what do they do with their child? Or they have to put their child in a nursing home or something like that while they're gone, because this child needs such critical care. Otherwise, the family could be with the child, taking the child on this trip and coming back. They're used to that. That's what they do, and they want to have their family with them. So it's things like that, and they're really, really compelling stories. And when I heard this and I saw this was going on, I'm like, what is happening to that $15,000 a year if they're only getting $2,800 worth of services? And then another thing that's happening is the services that these families want, when they get a bid, it is anywhere from 300% to 1,000% more expensive than if the family sought the services on their own. If they called up someone and says, can you provide an oxygen tank, the apparatus, all of that for us to travel, it is so much more expensive. So there's something, we need a Doge. We're like, we need a Doge here in Tennessee. But hopefully we will get this taken care of, and these families will get better service.
Sometimes the regulations are so stringent that they wind up costing more to follow them. That's what you're talking about here, than just to have a more practical solution, and you're looking for something that's practical here.
And honestly, I don't blame TennCare. TennCare hires contracts with an MCO, and the MCO handles the allocation of those services. So I do not blame TennCare. It's just something that we have to, negotiate out of their contract to perform those services, and they can use a different MCO to provide the pot of funds reimbursement arrangement.
What's something else you need to tell us this morning?
Well, the third bill, I feel like a lot of my bills this year are in health. The third bill that I'm sponsoring has to do with PANS and pandas. And I know I've spoken about this before. PANS and pandas is an illness that children can get, and it's related to the strep virus. It's the strep virus crossing the blood-brain barrier, getting into the brain. So families have their healthy, normal child. They wake up one morning and they are presenting psychiatric conditions, symptoms. And the families are like, what on earth happened to my child? Went to sleep yesterday, woke up this morning. And so for a lot of years, and unfortunately it's treated this way a lot, it's treated like a psychiatric condition, and it's not. It's actually a medical condition. It is the strep virus. Strep is extremely prevalent in Tennessee. And so these children need very quick treatment, have it identified quickly. We don't have a lot of practitioners in Tennessee who know about it. We do have some, but these some that we have, they're so busy, appointments are months out. And then also there's a treatment for the most severe cases that is fairly expensive, but it is effective. And these kids can return to, having a healthy, normal life. So TennCare does pay for it. It will pay for this when it is medically necessary, but there are no medical codes for it. So what happens is doctors may tend to think, or their offices may tend to think, well, we can't treat this, there's no medical code. So what this bill does is it instructs TennCare to create the medical code so the billing can take place and these kids can get help more easily. And so I am excited about that because, to have something present as a psychiatric condition and it's really a physical condition, we really have to identify that quickly.
Well, as an observant citizen to what you're talking about here,
Yes.
I can't help but wonder, why does it take legislation to change procedures of TennCare?
Right. Well,
And you said you're not
Yeah.
blaming TennCare is following the procedures
Right.
or whatever, but
Right. TennCare will follow what basically one or two very, very highly regarded medical associations think. Well, sometimes the information is a little slow going through the channels of that medical association. Like, people know about it and they know about it and they're working to have this identified and make it, something that, hey, we all need to, maybe get this training and know about this or whatever. So those channels can be a little slow. In the meantime, other states are making progress and they're saying, hey, this works, this is helping these kids, all of that. And so, just coming through the channels, it can be slow. And sometimes Tennessee is first on things, medical things, and sometimes they're not. And so this is a case where, we're using a pulling effect. We're trying to pull this through the channels and say, hey, y'all, look at this. These kids can get help. Families are suffering. It's really, really a tough condition because when they present with these psychiatric conditions, it's devastating for the family, for the parents. It really disrupts the family life.
got about 4 minutes. What else can you tell us this morning?
This is interesting. If anybody is interested in this, a lot of people run marathons. I don't, but a lot of people do. We Go Star is offering rides to the St. Jude Rock and Roll Marathon on Saturday, April 26th. Very special day to you and me. And so they have a whole schedule. So I think you can Google that, We Go Star, and it will tell you when you can catch the train down to the marathon. And that sounds like a whole lot of fun. And it's great for parking, all of that. And when you get down to the station, I know when I take this train to Nashville, they have buses waiting that are free.
Yeah.
The taxpayers are paying for it, but you can ride these buses. I ride a bus if it's raining up to the legislature. Otherwise, it's only a mile. I'll walk. But if it's terribly bitter cold or raining, I'll get on that bus and it drops me right off where I need to go. And same with many other places like Vanderbilt and many other places in Nashville.
I think I've asked our other two representatives. I'm not sure Senator Pote and I have talked about this, but I've got to mention it this morning, the pot for potholes bill.
Oh, goodness, yes. Yes, the pot for potholes bill failed. I'm not on that committee. I haven't actually watched the tape to see why it failed, but it did fail.
But the idea, though, is to some people, I think it's almost repulsive. Others think it's a solution. What do you think?
No, marijuana can really hurt young people in their teens and 20s. Employers, they don't know if their employees are inebriated when they come in affected. So that's a workers' comp issue for employers. Even just family life issue. Sometimes, people will buy drugs instead of food for their kids. So I don't think it's a good idea to make people feel a little better about doing that because they're filling potholes.
One other thing I'll mention here in our last minute or so, there's been a move more than once in a continuing effort, really, to lower and to even get rid of sales tax on food.
Right.
Now, and I'm not sure anybody would be totally opposed to that if they felt we could afford it. But what's when people mention that to you, what's your response?
I would love that. I would absolutely love that, but we are a sales tax dependent state. We do not have an income tax in our state, and we don't want one. And so that really is not too realistic. I mean, we did lower it, our percentage point a few years ago, but I don't know how realistic that is for Tennessee, only because of our tax base. And, we have to fund the government. We've decided through a constitutional amendment we are not going to do an income tax. The voters voted for a constitutional amendment.
Yeah, and some say, well, we've got a pretty good surplus. We could dip into the surplus and do that. That is not the best idea either, is it?
Well, you say surplus, so we have the rainy day fund, which is not a good idea to dip into. That we need to keep 8% of our budget in that rainy day fund just for backup and security. And then every year, yes, we have a little bit of a budget surplus. Luckily, last year it was real tight. And so, but those monies, they generally will go towards roads, also into the rainy day fund, and also to programs like 10 Care and K through 12 education.
Okay, we've come to the end of our time here. Thank you so much for being with us. Hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
State Representative Susan Lind on Part 1 of Coleman and Company. Please keep it here for more FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $59.95 up to 5 quarts of oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. 1780 Franklin Road. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Just a few more minutes on the paperwork on this crash over here on Briley Parkway westbound at Clarksville Pike. It's almost guaranteed to have a wreck here during the rain. That's for sure on this side of Briley. Now, it's gotten heavier through Dixon County on I-40 East headed towards Kingston Springs as it loads up with more volume 24 west up through Antioch. Coming in from Murfreesboro, watching it build through the Mount Juliet area just in the last few minutes on I-40 West headed towards Hermitage. Hey, when you need dependable towing in Middle Tennessee, call STR Towing and Recovery. Check out strtow.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, this is Dr. Derek Gregory, and I'm proud to announce to you the opening of our brand new dental practice, Gregory Dental Group, at 1746 West Main Street, just across the road from Sports Village. Come experience modern dentistry at its best. We're always welcoming new patients, and I truly look forward to taking the best care of all your dental needs. Come by or call us today.
That's Gregory Dental Group, 615-444-0322, or online at myLebanonTNDentist.com. Gregory Dental Group, compassion, knowledge, skill.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing.
We'll have mostly cloudy skies today, a chance of showers this morning, otherwise turning colder. Morning temperatures in the 60s, falling to near 50 by this afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, lows in the lower 40s, and then partly cloudy on Tuesday, highs in the lower 60s. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions.
We welcome you to Part 2 of Coleman and Company here on a Monday morning. Cloudy and overcast, maybe a little rain coming in. I think we escaped any real bad results of the weather last night and this morning up till 2 or 3 o'clock, but some other areas were not as fortunate. Some houses had some trees fall on them and all that. But here we welcome you to Part 2 of Coleman and Company, and each Monday at this time, we talk about the Farm Bureau Expo Center, and we do have Jason Johnson, our tourism director, this morning to substitute for Gail Hellam. Jason, good morning.
Morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing well, and it's nice to see you again.
Too, again. Yeah.
You're a busy fella. You around and about. Bump into you every once in a while.
Sure.
Always see you at the fair.
Always got to be at the fair. I mean, you can't not be at the Wilson County, Tennessee State Fair.
But to talk about the Farm Bureau Expo Center, Gail is the director of marketing and events, and it seems like there's more and more happening out there all the time. And I guess what she does there is maybe in a way an extension of what you and the tourism department is all about.
Absolutely. I think you said we're all between Gail and what she does at the Farm Bureau Expo Center. Myself to help kind of promote events. What what they're doing out at the NASCAR Super Speedway. It's all just a big ingredients. We just all go in a big pot of stew, and we're just cooking up, tax dollars for everybody, in the county, and help promote tourism and visitation and events.
Yes, and the more people, of course, that she can entice. That's probably not a good word, but suggest and bring to the Farm Bureau Expo Center. The more they're here, the more they're going to be spending, and we reap sales tax benefits.
Absolutely,
from it,
yeah.
Which not only that, it helps pay for that place as well.
For sure.
But when you are talking tourism, I would think that the Farm Bureau Expo Center is one of the things that you probably mention quite often.
Absolutely, yeah. It is one of our I'd say crown jewels that we have as far as in Wilson County of what brings in visitors, what brings in tourists, what brings in these events. I was driving in this morning and I see on the marquee sign that they've got wrestling, they've got a whip cracking rodeo. There's something. There's always a gun show. There's a craft fair. There's something out there going all the time. No matter what your interest is, you're going to find something out there. And I'd suggest to check the website, because if you look down the calendar, you'll say, "Oh, that's a good weekend to go. Let's go out there."
Well, here again, as you're promoting tourism, as people inquire maybe of what is here, I would imagine that the Expo Centers is mentioned from your lips quite often.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, Gail and I work very well, and we're in contact several times a week. Just what's going on out there with have I missed something? We're going to make sure we put it up on our website. Visit TN website and all that. Visit Wilson County TN website. And like for example, coming up on April 29th, there's the Accelerate Business Expo. It's a small and mid-sized business expo, kind of business to business expo networking thing. Lebanon Wilson County Chamber has helped putting that on out there. Over 180 vendors. It's just a chance it's basically, imagine like a larger extension of what the chamber is doing on a day-to-day basis, housed in Gail's event space to bring this in. It's going to be a fantastic thing for sure for local
She and
events.
I have talked a few times about maybe sometime in the future having some sort of hotel accommodations out there, either close by or on the property. Are you a proponent of that?
And if you can find the genie's lamp to rub and get the wish or whatever, or the lucky lotto ticket or whatever it can to make that happen, because that is, her and I, we go to a lot of meeting planner conferences and things like that, and that is one of the main questions that we get. Do you have on-site lodging? Mm-hmm. And the on-site lodging out there would take that expo center absolutely to a next level situation.
Yeah. Well, anything else about it or about tourism itself, Jason, that you want to mention this morning? Got another minute or two.
Coleman, like I say, we're strong in the middle of planning. With motorsports, NASCAR Super Speedway coming up. NASCAR weekend is May 30th through June 1st. It's going to be big again this year. Another record-setting year for us. We've got some strong.
Bit earlier than before.
It's a little bit earlier.
Yeah,
they did. They moved it up. I think they said, it's a little warm out here. Mm-hmm. Let's kind of catch this earlier in the season to do that. So they did move it up a little bit earlier in the schedule. So it kind of.
But we get quite a bit of publicity out of that, and that race, the main race, I believe, is televised all over the country.
It is. I can't remember, honestly, if it's Fox or NBC, but it's a changeover, but it's on that. We, as the Wilson County CVB, are now this year qualifying sponsorship, entitlement sponsors for those. So we will be the pole position trophy presenter on that. So that's great in the fact that whenever you see emails or email blasts or anything from the Nashville Super Speedway, we're the other badge on there now. So it's a lot of great publicity exposure for Wilson County.
All right. Well, thank you for being here this morning and filling in for Gail for the Farm Bureau Expo Center. But it is, we could say, one of our Wilson County jewels, I believe.
Absolutely, for sure.
All right.
I appreciate
you so
your
much.
time, sir.
All right. Jason Johnson, our tourism director, and that's it for the Farm Bureau Expo Center here on a Monday. Gail Hell will be back next week, and let me tell you, we're right now about 21 and a half before the 8 o'clock hour, and I have some special guests, special program really this morning, and I'll have to thank Sue Sines for setting all of this up, but do want to introduce Lisa Dice and David Spence, who are my guests this morning, and David David, I'm gonna start with you here. I said I don't know an awful lot about what we're going to be talking about, and you said we'll tell you. So,
all right,
what are you here to talk about?
We are here with some great news for parents. We are opening a brand new Parents' Day Out. It'll be Monday and Wednesday from 9 to 2:30. Moms and dads, please be aware, if you've got littles, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s, we have an opportunity for you to come and have some child care with our facility. So in the short, we have the opportunity to create a community of parents and grandparents. And, we live in a time where our culture has blended families. Could be an aid to someone who says, hey, what are we going to do with our kids on these couple of days? Mm-hmm. And we have a fantastic opportunity to partner with those parents as they come in and bring those kids. And we love on them all day. And then we send them back home, and we become a part of what's good in their life.
All right, who is we?
Let me introduce that. The Ministry Center is a church on Hartsville Pike, and we are an 85-year-old congregation. Now, that doesn't mean everybody in there is 85 years old, but we are a continuing faith community of a little over 400 strong. We have a lot of people who are committed to helping people outside of our faith community. Let's bless our community. So we love Wilson County, and we love Wilson County's children. And this is not where you have to be a part of the church to come to this. This is for everyone. If you've got kids and you need child care, we are open for you.
It's that simple?
It's that simple.
Well, Lisa, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And your role in all of this?
I will be the director of our program.
Now, this is something new?
This is a new ministry that we're offering at the church.
And what's it? Is it start? I think you've got a start date real soon, haven't you?
Our first day of business is August the 4th, basically next school year, but we are enrolling and registering now.
Okay.
So if you're looking ahead and you're like, well, what are we going to do?
The registration is about to begin then, I
Yes,
believe.
it's open now. Open now.
All right.
We will have open house on May the 3rd.
Okay. I knew there was some event just around the corner, and I never made any notes ahead of time on this, so I'm depending on y'all this morning. But we finally got to it here.
Yeah,
you're here this morning, and May the 3rd is just a little over a month away.
Yeah.
So pay close attention here.
Yeah, we saw the need for this program because other churches in the community have a large wait list. So we saw the need for this type of program, and we wanted it to be another. Of course, we live up to our name. We're a ministry center, so we try to do and offer programs that minister and help the community, as David said. Our mission will be to partner with families to help nurture their children spiritually, academically, and socially in a safe and secure environment. And we'll offer a high-quality Bible-based learning experience because at this age, kids learn through play and exploration. And we want the parents to know this is somewhere safe. They can send their child, but they'll also be learning and preparing for their next steps.
Okay, well, I take you that your church, your group, has not done anything exactly like this in the past.
No, sir, this is a new program to our church, yes.
As we used to say out in the country, we're plowing new ground here.
Yeah, but me and David both come from educational background. I've got over 27 years in the education program. We both actually worked at Mount Juliet Christian Academy. Mm-hmm. I was actually retired, and they was kind of like, no, we need you to do this. So,
as word begins to get out, and I think it's relatively new, but you are open now for enrollment. As people hear about this, what's been the response? Has it been really good, really positive?
It's been great. I love when new parents come in and they have questions. We're all of us, our first time we're having kids, we're all brand new to it. And there's not only an opportunity here to serve the kids and love on the kids, but there's an opportunity to take parents and support them in the early part of their raising their children. And as you know, I have adult children, and Miss Lisa has adult children, and we've been down the road. So we have some ideas to share and some affirmation to give One of the things I think certain parents have a challenge with is, oh my goodness, I've got to potty train this child. Well, we can coach a little bit, and we have the opportunity to stand alongside and be a guide at their side and say, let's together move this child forward in their rearing years.
Yeah, I think we all could pretty much agree that when you have a new addition to your family, you don't get a manual that comes with it.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Maybe then we do have the Bible, but
Right.
You don't find how to change a diaper there really.
Right.
It's totally new, and it can be a trying time, and then especially if you've got both parents working outside the home, you can have more problems.
And there's a lot of grandparents. I'm a grandparent. My little is 2. So this program will also help grandparents that watch their grandchildren to give them a break as well. On Mondays and Wednesdays, this would be a great opportunity for them to be able to breathe a little, because I understand, the littles keep you moving. But
all right, well, we'll need to take a break right here. We'll come back. We'll talk about, maybe get a little bit more specific about just what you're planning to have. And I'll reintroduce my guests when we come back here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota, premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 449-6171. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a couple of accidents in their clearing stages. It's starting a little bit busier in the last few minutes on 24 westbound here at 840 coming out of Murfreesboro. Rutherford County still dodging some pretty good rain showers. Moving through parts of Middle Tennessee right now with this rain out here. Give yourself extra travel time. It's only going to get busier in the next few minutes westbound. Vietnam Vets coming through Sumner County. They're out of Hendersonville headed towards Conference Drive on Vietnam Vets going westbound. Whether you need a new roof repair, roof inspection, call Independent Roofing Specialists. Just check out irsroofs.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Need a venue for your next corporate training, meeting, luncheon, or customer appreciation event? These are just a few of the event options that the Farm Bureau Expo Center can accommodate within its 79,000 square feet of adaptable event space. The Farm Bureau Expo Center offers unparalleled versatility for corporate events in Wilson County. Come on by and check us out. For booking details as well as upcoming events, visit farmbureauexpo.com or find us on Facebook. We look forward to seeing you soon at the Farm Bureau Expo.
That's for about a week
Coleman
or so.
& Company, we thank you for joining us. Let me remind you the 18th Wilson County Ag Hall of Fame banquet is going to take place tomorrow evening at the Farm Bureau Expo Center, and reception starts at 6, actual banquet at 6:30, and the following individuals going to be inducted into the Wilson County Ag Hall of Fame: Stratton Bone, Ruth Carell, Debbie Joins, and Quentin and Vicki Smith. And I understand tickets are still available, and so hope to see you there. I am glad to have with me this morning from the MC Academy, Lisa Dice and David Spence, and we've been talking about something they're going to be doing at the start of the school year, which will be around the 1st of August, I take it. But you've got an event coming up here, May what, Lisa?
May the 3rd will be our open house from 8 to noon that day at the Ministry Center at 1007 Hartsville Pike here in Lebanon. And if anyone has any questions, they can email me at mca@ministrycenter.church, or they can call.
Right. Well, I don't know how many people write down a telephone number, but if you want to give it, we'll let you.
Unfortunately, I don't know the number.
Yeah. One of the cool things we have is something called Bright Wheel. We have a specific online connection with parents. So when they're checking their kid out, they use Bright Wheel. When they're checking their kid in, they use Bright Wheel. And what this does is, I know some people are suspect of the internet. This is just our own enclosed communication system. Mm-hmm. So if mom has a question, it's not out there for everybody to make commentary. It comes directly to us. And this helps to improve the bond of communication between us and the parents. So that's our primary communication is Bright Wheel.
Well, now this is a ministry, and you are the ministry center. Your church has the ministry center is what you're referred to,
right?
Usually, but there are costs that are involved in this. Now, what about someone who wants to enroll their children with what you're going to be doing?
Well, the first step along the way is online registration, and that's basically just a electronic hello, we're interested.
Right.
At that point, we reach out, we have them come to our facility. You don't want to buy a car without looking at it, so we come and we do a tour, and it's a way to get that first conversation. Mm-hmm. At that point, if they decide to go forward, we have a $100 registration fee. Well, now that pays for the snacks throughout the year and all of the goodies they'll have. We'll even have guests coming in. We want them to see a police officer, or perhaps we'll have some of our fire service folks come in, maybe a doctor come in. And those kinds of people, when you're in the early age, you're like, ooh, who are these people? And expose them to that. Our monthly expense that we're asking for them is $195 a month, and that's again all through electronic. Brightwell, it takes that right out of your account, and so we have that. Our basic thing here is we're not trying to make loads of money. We want to make sure we take care of our teachers well, because the most important thing ain't the bricks and the mortar and the building. It's the people. We want to take care of those people. And you want to have a certain level of trust with someone who you allow to watch your children. And so that's where we're at, $195 a month.
What would be the capacity? I mean, you don't really know at this point, I don't think, even though it's been favorably received, right. But you still don't know really how many to prepare for yet. And that, again, is probably why you're getting the early start, having your open house first part of May here for something that's going to be beginning around 1st of August. But if you just had a deluge of people wanting to, you got to draw the line somewhere. How many can you accommodate? That's my question.
Our total,
or hoping to.
We're looking at about 40, and sometimes people think, well, you just want as many as you can get.
Yeah.
We only want as many as we can serve well. It's not about packing as many kids in there as you can get. We want to make sure that the quality of care is extremely high. We have capacity for 2-year-old classes, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and even 5-year-olds. We looked at the size of our facility, and most of those classes would be between 8 and 10 kids apiece. And so we're probably maxed out about 40. And that's one of the reasons I encourage people, if you want to be a part of this, go ahead and start your process. You don't want to get on a waiting list, because that's pretty much the standard for most Parents' Day Out things. If you start late, you're going to be at the end of a very long line. So I recommend people take action immediately. Go ahead and give us a call. We'll take it.
Right, and anybody that's listening here today, again, you don't want to wait. If this is something that really, if you're just wanting to find out about it, not your no obligation or anything, but come and find out and see if this is for you, I guess. Lisa, I don't think we've let you say enough this morning.
That's okay.
But David does seem to have all the answers here.
Oh, yeah.
But you're in this together. Are there some other people that are either on the committee or part of what you're doing that you might mention?
It will just be our pastor, Drew Eastus, him and David and I.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a vision, and it came to fruit in October, and we saw the need, so we, have reached out to people and got guidance. And
okay, and what the facility that you have? Talk about a little bit more about that. What actually is available? Is it all there now? People can see it ahead of time, or is it going to be close to August before you're totally ready?
We are ready for tours today. I got to brag on Miss Lisa. She likes cool stuff. I like cool stuff. And so it's fun to bring the kids in and let them have a sense of what they're going to climb on, the books they're going to be exposed to. Where's the bathroom? It's a big question when you have littles, and to see, kind of the feel of the building. We've been very blessed. This area is completely newly remodeled, but it is ready to go. We are. If we had to open the business tomorrow, we'd be a little nervous, but we'd get it done. Right. So when August comes, we're going to be fully capable of serving these kids.
Do you anticipate if this is just really a popular thing? You have even all you take care of this year for to expand it in time to come, or cut back, or and I'm wondering too about the help that you're going to have. I don't think the two of you can do this all yourself. If you've got several little ones there.
Well, as our classes fill up, it helps us with our staffing. We don't want to hire somebody for a job that doesn't make. So we're trying to hire, kind of ask to task. We have a class ready for you, rather than just have a bunch of people in the waiting pen saying, "Well, you might be up and you might not." So we're being very strategic in our hiring. We want to. It's more about getting the right person than getting someone too quickly. And so,
well, are you looking for people even right now? Or?
Yes, if there's anyone that's interested, they can reach out to me. There are course qualifications that they will have to meet and that sort of thing. So, and you were talking about
past experience help.
Yes, past experience, elementary education or preschool education. The pre-K through third certification, that would be great, but it's not required. And you were talking about the expansion, and if the Monday and Wednesday program fills up, we have talked about beginning a Tuesday, Thursday. Not sure if that would happen the first year, but in the future, if the numbers are there and the community requires it. Well,
here again, you're as I said earlier, you're plowing new ground here. You're doing something that you have an idea. Obviously, it's going to have some good results and a good thing going, but you don't know, and so it's sort of a. Let's see what happens here. But you're really enthused about this, I can tell, and something you feel that is definitely needed.
Yes, definitely needed. We're very excited about it. Like David said, it's a branch of our church to minister to the community. We have several programs under our church ministry that reaches out to the community. So we're very excited to be able to offer this to parents and grandparents.
All right. For those who might have joined us late, now this is all for preschool. I think you did mention possibility of maybe a 5-year-old, although a lot of them probably are in maybe kindergarten if they go to kindergarten.
Depending on birthdays, some 5-year-olds, some parents choose not to send their children early. A lot of times it is best to let them go through a pre-K program before kindergarten to make sure they are socially and physically and academically ready, because every child learns different.
Yeah.
Think about popcorn. Every kernel's in that oil at the same time, under the same heat, but every child develops like that popcorn pops differently.
Don't think I've ever heard that analogy before. That's good. But you've been in education yourself, so
yes, sir.
That's no doubt you'll put some of your experiences there to work here. How long and where were you, if you don't mind? We got a minute or two.
In the beginning, I started with the city school system as a teacher's aide, and then branched out with a good friend, and we opened Alpha Learning Center, which was a pre-K program that worked with 3, 4, and 5-year-old. We had that for a few years. It was where the Cedar Stone Bank is now. The property sold. And then I finished my elementary education degree in 2010. And then I went to Mount Juliet Christian Academy, where I taught 4th grade for several years. Mm-hmm. So I've worked with pre-K and all the way up to middle school.
And David, what about you, as far as at least as far as education goes, school and that kind of thing?
I've been all over the map. I've literally taught every grade from pre-K to the 12th grade. And part of that was, as a Bible teacher and as a children's pastor, I've been able to connect with people on a lot of different levels. I spent 18 years at Mount Juliet Christian, loved every minute of it. God opened a new chapter. But I started my children's pastoring 30 years ago. And I've loved it, and it's been awesome, but I'm looking forward to earn some trust of some brand new folks. I'm not done.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Well, here in our last minute, let's remind everybody again how to contact you if they are interested in mentioning the May 3rd, is it?
May 3rd's the open house.
All right.
We're located at 1007 Hartsville Pike here in Lebanon, and it's the ministry center. Actually, if you see all the construction on Hartsville Pike, it's right in front of the church. And you can reach out to me, Lisa Dyes, at mca@ministrycenter.church, or call the church, and it will be directed to me.
Right. And then one of those ways, either email or phone call, is probably
Correct.
the best way to contact you.
Yes.
And David, you want them just to contact Lisa if they want to talk to you.
The coolest thing about our phone system is if they call her and she doesn't answer, it rings my phone. So you're going to get one of the two of us.
All right. Well, it's nice to have. I've never, as far as I know, have not met either one of you before this morning, but it's been nice to have you here, and we wish you well in your endeavor, and thanks for coming out to talk about it.
Thank you for allowing us to be here.
Okay. All right, that's going to do it for Monday, and until tomorrow, I wish you a magnificent day.